He was selling snacks on the corner. Now he runs a tech company worth millions. If you love inspirational stories like this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on our next video. The scent of sizzling sausages and sweet, caramelized onions is a familiar comfort to many city dwellers. It's the smell of a quick lunch, a late-night snack, a small moment of delicious respite in a bustling world. For most, the person behind the cart is a fleeting figure, a pair of hands expertly assembling a meal. But what if that same pair of hands, once adept at flipping hot dogs, would one day type the code for a multi-million-dollar tech company? This isn't the plot of a Hollywood movie. It's the real-life story of Marco Rodriguez, a man who traded his food cart for a keyboard and built an empire from the ground up. Marco's story begins not in a sleek Silicon Valley office, but on the gritty, sun-baked streets of downtown Los Angeles. Born to immigrant parents who worked tirelessly in low-wage jobs, Marco learned the value of hard work from a young age. He wasn't a star student in the traditional sense. While his classmates were focused on extracurriculars and college applications, Marco was focused on something far more immediate: survival. He saw the financial strain on his family and felt an overwhelming responsibility to contribute. So, at the age of 17, with a small loan from his uncle and a beat-up second-hand food cart, he started his own business. His venture was simple: Marco's Munchies. He found a prime spot on a busy corner, just a block away from a bustling office district. He sold hot dogs, soft pretzels, and ice-cold sodas. His days were long and grueling. He'd wake up before dawn to buy fresh supplies, spend hours prepping his ingredients, and then stand on his feet for 10 to 12 hours, serving an endless stream of customers. He endured scorching summer heat, unexpected downpours, and the constant noise of the city. He learned to deal with demanding customers, city permit officers, and the occasional turf war with other street vendors. It was a tough, thankless job, but Marco was a natural entrepreneur. He wasn't just selling food, he was building a community. He remembered his regulars' names and their favorite orders. He'd offered a free soda to a construction worker on a particularly hot day, or listened patiently to an office worker venting about their boss. His cart became more than just a place to eat. It was a small, reliable hub in the chaotic urban landscape. He learned about supply and demand, profit margins, customer service, and the sheer unyielding power of a strong work ethic. These weren't lessons from a textbook. They were lessons learned in the real world, forged in the heat of a grill and the hustle of the street. But even as he mastered the art of street vending, a different kind of curiosity was brewing within him. During his downtime, waiting for the lunch rush, or in the quiet late afternoons, he'd pull out his cheap, second-hand smartphone. He wasn't scrolling through social media. He was devouring information. He watched free coding tutorials on YouTube, read articles about tech startups, and listened to podcasts about entrepreneurs who had built something from nothing. The world of technology, with its promise of innovation and scalability, seemed like a universe away from his corner, yet it captivated him completely. He saw a world where an idea, with the right execution, could reach millions. The seed of his own idea was planted, ironically, by the very frustrations of his daily life. Marco noticed a glaring inefficiency in the world of street vending. Every day, he saw hundreds of potential customers walk by, perhaps unaware of his cart or unsure of what he offered. At the same time, he knew that just a few blocks away, thousands of office workers were trying to decide what to have for lunch, often resorting to the same few chain restaurants out of convenience. He thought, what if there was a way to connect these two groups? What if I could tell everyone in that skyscraper that I have the best chili dogs in town, ready and waiting for them? This was the spark that would ignite Street Feast, his tech startup. The concept was simple but revolutionary: a mobile app that would act as a live map for street food vendors. Customers could open the app and see, in real time, every food truck and food cart in their vicinity. They could view menus, see pictures, read reviews from other users, and even place an order for pickup. For vendors like himself, it would be a game changer. It would give them the visibility and marketing power of a brick-and-mortar restaurant, all from their mobile carts. It would level the playing field, allowing small, independent operators to compete with the big chains. With his vision clear, Marco began his second, even more grueling job. After a full day of running his food cart, he would head home, not to rest, but to code. Fueled by cheap coffee and sheer determination, he spent his nights hunched over a used laptop, teaching himself the complex languages of software development. He poured every spare dollar he earned from selling hot dogs into his new venture, paying for server space, software licenses, and online courses. His friends and family were skeptical. They saw him abandoning a steady, if modest, income for what seemed like a digital fantasy. They'd say, "Marco, stick to what you know. You're good at the food cart." But Marco had a vision that they couldn't see. He knew the principles he learned on the street: understanding your customer, providing value, and out-hustling the competition were universal. The first version of the Street Feast app was clumsy and full of bugs. It crashed frequently and the interface was far from polished. But it worked. Marco became his own first user. He listed Marco's Munchies on the app, and, to his astonishment, he started getting new customers who had discovered him through it. He then embarked on the most challenging sales pitch of his life, convincing other street vendors to sign up. He walked from cart to cart, truck to truck, showing them the app on his phone. Most were skeptical, just as his family had been. They were old school, accustomed to cash transactions and word-of-mouth marketing. The idea of an app seemed foreign and complicated. But Marco was persistent. He used the same charm and authenticity that had made his food cart a local favorite. He wasn't a slick salesman in a suit. He was one of them. He spoke their language. He understood their struggles. He offered to set up their profiles for free, taking photos of their food and writing up their menus himself. Slowly, one by one, they started to sign on. A taco truck here, a falafel stand there. As more vendors joined, the app became more useful to customers. A network effect began to take hold. More vendors led to more users, which in turn attracted even more vendors. The turning point came when a popular Los Angeles food blogger stumbled upon the app. He wrote a glowing review, calling Street Feast the most important new tool for food lovers in the city. The article went viral. Overnight, downloads skyrocketed. The servers crashed, a problem Marco, in a state of panicked excitement, worked for 36 hours straight to fix. The media came calling. Suddenly, the hot dog guy was the tech founder. He was featured in magazines and on local news segments. The story was irresistible. The humble street vendor who had coded his way into the tech scene. This newfound attention attracted the one thing Marco needed to truly scale his vision: investment. Venture capitalists, who had previously ignored his emails, were now clamoring for a meeting. Marco, who once negotiated the price of hot dog buns, was now negotiating term sheets for millions of dollars. He walked into boardrooms wearing a simple hoodie, a stark contrast to the expensive suits around the table. But when he spoke with the authority of someone who had built a business from the ground up, with his own two hands. He didn't just understand the code, he understood the customer, the vendor, and the street. He secured a multi-million-dollar seed round, and Street Feast exploded. With the new funding, Marco hired a team of engineers, designers, and marketers. He moved out of his tiny apartment and into a real office, though he insisted it have a fully stocked kitchen, a small nod to his roots. Street Feast expanded from Los Angeles to San Francisco, then to New York, Chicago, and Austin. The app became a national phenomenon, a staple for urban foodies and a lifeline for thousands of small business owners. Marco never forgot where he came from. He built features into the app specifically designed to help vendors, like tools for inventory management and access to bulk purchasing discounts. He created a fund to provide microloans to aspiring street food entrepreneurs, helping them buy their first carts, just as his uncle had helped him. Today, Street Feast is a tech company valued at over $100 million. Marco Rodriguez, the kid who once sold pretzels on a street corner, is now a celebrated CEO. He has traded his food cart for a corner office with a panoramic view of the city he once served from below. But if you ask him, he'll tell you that the principles that guide him are the same. It's about showing up every day, working harder than anyone else, listening to your customers, and never, ever being afraid to bet on yourself. His journey is a powerful reminder that an entrepreneur isn't defined by their background, their education, or the resources they start with. They are defined by their grit, their vision, and their relentless drive to build something better. From a sizzling grill to a billion-dollar algorithm, Marco's story proves that the American dream is still alive and well, sometimes found in the most unexpected of places. If you were inspired by Marco's journey, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss the incredible stories we have coming up.